Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. I'm joined once again by Craig Barnes, and you're with us for full live and comprehensive coverage of this National League North fixture between Leamington and Chester. Despite the weather, the local community and fans have rallied this week, much like that of the Leamington team, and have come together to scrape the snow, cover the pitch and make sure all was done to allow the conditions for today's game to be acceptable. On Tuesday night, Leamington picked up their first 3 points on the road this season with a superb performance at high-flying Brackley Town. The Breaks' first ever victory at St James Park in what was their 10th attempt in his 650 game managing the Breaks. Paul Holloran made one change to Saturday's 4-1 victory over Curzon Ashton, with Adam Walker replacing Jack Edwards, who dropped to the bench with a slight fitness concern. As for today's opponents, Chester, the Seals are one of the teams that, as the season has progressed, have continued to get better and better, and their recent results and league position reflect the confidence and form they are in at the moment. With only one defeat in their last 25 league games, yes, that's right, 25, Chester will come out today fully confident in taking home all 3 points. Manager Callum McIntyre has been doing a fine job since taking over in May last year. McIntyre made the step up after managing Runcorn Linnet since 2020, and before his departure took Runcorn to a 4th place finish in the NPL West Division before losing the playoff final against Marine. So a long ball forward in towards the Leamington box, well brought down by Willoughby. Caton on the edge now, Chester forward into the box, chipped it forward towards Willoughby again, looks to be offside. It is offside. Can made good nuisance of himself as he just looked to close down Charlie Caton, who came plunging forward, but well, Leamington seemed to be caught a little bit static from the start there, Craig.
Can did brilliantly there. We read the situation, obviously a 6'6" frame, spread himself nice and big, made it hard, and Caton offside couldn't do anything anyway.
Perry comes deep. Perry back to Meredith, and then it's back to English. English will clear, right-footed, into Chester's half. Williams comes out, puts a commanding header on it, and then Dudley tries to nod it down to Roberts. Roberts tries to send one over the top. A mixture of Hall and Lane getting each other's way. Louis Hall's let it go to Willoughby. Willoughby's through, and Willoughby puts it wide. Well, Willoughby looked for all the money like he was going to get his 26th goal in a Chester shirt. Louis Hall and Jack Lane seemed to get in each other's way. Willoughby came scampering into the 18-yard box, let it settle, let him get his head and his knee over the ball, and then just slammed his half volley wide of Ted Cann's right-hand post. Good chance for Chester.
Well, I made reference to the communication on the right side of the Leamington defence moments earlier, and that time on the left-hand side, Hall and Lane, who've played numerous games together for Leamington this season, got into each other's way. There's a little bit of a chat about it now, but it allowed Willoughby to stray into the penalty box, and yeah, one of those occasions where you're fearing the worst, but luckily for Leamington, the Chester top scorer put it wide.
Kelly Evans can't bring it down inside Chester's half. Walker nods it forward again. Adam Walker, the captain again this afternoon, as Jack Edwards is still occupying the bench, and it's out towards Louis Hall, who sends one into the channel for Hulbert to give chase. Just holds up in the wind a little bit. Hulbert makes a nuisance of himself. Burke doesn't clear it all the way. Hulbert back to Turner. Turner out to Hall, who's carried on tracking forward from left back, and then it's back to Walker, who tried to send one in first time but just didn't get enough on it. Chester try and break away. Willoughby now. Willoughby on the right-hand side. He's got English for company. Willoughby, no real support, but it's arriving. Willoughby holds it up on the right-hand side, does well, sends one goalwards, and it flashes across the face of goal. Ted Can seemed to potentially get a fingertip to it. In fact, it has gone for a corner, but again, Kurt Willoughby showing why he's so amongst the goals so far this season. So, Leamington will have a corner over on that far side to be taken again by Liam Cross. Cross stands over it, just waits for a bit of movement, and now swings it in towards the penalty spot. It's onto the head of a Leamington player, but it's only as far as Junior English, who nods it goalwards again. Chester haven't cleared their lines. They head it down inside the 6-yard box. Hulbert gets an effort. Oh, he just scuffed it wide. Ollie Hulbert seemed to fall to him. He didn't really expect it. He had a first-time effort, and he just scuffed his shot and dragged it wide.
It was one of those moments where there's lots of bodies in the way. It just broke to Hulbert, and yeah, you're right, he just couldn't get it on target. He saw the goalkeeper's jersey, which is kind of like fluorescent orange, I think, today. Tried to get it away from him, and in doing so, yeah, wrong side of the post.
Forward it comes from Perry, over the top for Kelly Evans to chase. Kelly Evans makes himself a nuisance, but Leamington will pick it up again on the right-hand side. They try and chip one into the channel for Cross. Cross gets goal side, Cross to the dead ball line, sends one in towards Hulbert. Hulbert flicks it goalwards, and it's really well saved by Tyra. Well, it was the little flick from Ollie Hulbert where the striker runs near post, lets the ball go between his legs, and then throws that right-footed flick behind him. Real smart little flick, but Harry Tyra was wise to it as he made himself big and Chester escape. It was great play from Liam Cross to keep the ball in initially, and as he did keep it in, Hulbert did well but couldn't send it into the back of the net.
Yeah, Cross again though, just making something happen from nothing. Hulbert with the shot, superb save from Tyro, and Everton obviously see quite a lot in him because they gave him a contract last January through to the summer of 2025, and on the spot there, really good agile goalkeeping to keep Leamington at bay.
Yeah, Louis Hall will take this left-footed. Of course, Louis Hall, the man who signed from Newport at the start of the season and got his second goal in a break shirt against Chester in the first fixture at the start of November. That late equaliser as Leamington come forward into the box. Walker chips one towards the far post. Arrive it is Turner, and it's just over the bar. Well, Adam Walker did really well on the right-hand side, the captain this afternoon, the man who scored that brilliant goal on Tuesday night. He got into the box on the right-hand side, he chipped one towards the far post. Dan Turner arrived with impeccable timing, got his head to it, but it was just a couple of inches over the top of Harry Tyra's crossbar and just landed on the roof of the net. So Cross will have this corner, plenty of height in the box for the breaks. Perry, English, Lane are all in there. Cross swings it in towards the far post again. It's over everyone. The keeper comes for it, and it's been turned home, has it? No, it's cleared off the line. The linesman looks at the referee looks at the linesman. No one awards the goal, and Chester looks to have cleared their lines at the last gasp opportunity as it was swung in towards the far post. It was headed down by a plethora of bodies, stabbed goalwards, and as we waited for the net to bulge, a Chester body just managed to clear it off the line, and as it fell to the feet then, I think it was Sam Perry, just blazed one over the bar.
Need VAR for that one, Shaun, don't we? There was a junior, I think, who headed it down on the far post. The shot came in, I didn't see who it was by, but yeah, Leamington players, half of them appealed. Obviously the Chester fans behind the goal looked on anxiously, and the referee and his official decided no goal was given. And as you say, Perry couldn't capitalise when the ball broke to him just outside the box.
So Meredith stands over this, chips it forward, right-footed, up towards English, who's at the far post. English just couldn't quite win it. It'll be kept in play by Hulbert. Hulbert just holds it up, looks for support and has it through Kelly Evans. Kelly Evans, right-footed, gets his cross in. Nice cross towards the far post, headed down by a Chester head, and then they clear through Murray. Murray on that left-hand side looks for support and has it with Brown. Brown overlapping him and goes past Lane. Now Brown is in towards the back four. He's got Meredith for company. Meredith, though, does really well just to step in front of Brown and then just drops his shoulder and dances away from Brown and then clears the second challenge as well. And there's no free kick been given. Murray into the 18-yard box. Murray has a snapshot. Good save by Can. Well, the Leamington players are furious with the referee. Dan Meredith is pointing the finger. And to me, there's no reason for Dan Meredith to go down there unless he was clipped. He rode the first challenge. He dropped a shoulder and came inside the second and just seemed to have his ankles taken away from him. The referee was well positioned. He waved it away and Chester was straight into the 18-yard box, and it was Murray who had a good effort on goal, but it was tipped over the bar by Can.
Yeah, I think you summed up the Meredith incident very well there, but just to say praised Can, you know, he's had nothing to do with the second half. Smart save there, getting a strong hand on it to tip it over the bar.
Tyra sends a quick kick down the pitch, but it's not going to be kept in play by Thomas, is it? Oh, it is. It's kept in play really well by Thomas. You can't get on the end of his touch, though, and Louis Hall just clears his lines. Headed infield by Chester, only as far as Kelly Evans. Brought down by Burke, looked like a handball. Fans wanted it, not given, and now Weeks travels forward into the Leamington half. Weeks, he's got Walker for company. Weeks still travelling forward. Weeks to the edge of the 18-yard box, into the feet of Willoughby, who has a go. Can, what a save by Can, left foot forward to the edge of the area, cleared away by English, falls to the feet of Caton again. Caton has an effort blocked by Meredith. Leamington clear their lines up towards Ollie Hulbert. What a save by Ted Can. It was sent goalwards. Ted Can got down, got his frame down quickly and got a big left glove to it. Fantastic save by Ted Can to keep his clean sheet intact.
Well, I think it looked certain, didn't it, that Chester were about to score, and Can just, yeah, superb save. Can't praise him enough there for keeping the scores goalless.
Hall will have this throw in. Edwards is in there making a nuisance of himself, and I imagine that's where this will go. And it's up towards Edwards, who can't quite get onto it with his head. Hall flicks it back towards Lane, and then Lane just takes stock of the situation, composes himself, and then goes back towards Ted Can. Can clears left-footed up towards Hulbert. Hulbert wins the knockdown. Now he's got a bit of space to move into, and he's got Kelly Evans on his right-hand side. Kelly Evans holds it up in front of the Leamington dugout and waits for support. Comes in towards Meredith, in towards Turner. Turner just couldn't quite get over the ball. It was a great delivery by Kelly Evans. Turner inside the 6-yard box was backtracking all the way to try and get his head on it. He did get his head on it, but instead of getting over the ball, he just headed it high and wide of Harry Taylor's goal.
Turner did everything he could, couldn't he, just to try and get something on it. He was leaping like a salmon, really. He never looked favourite to even get an effort on goal, really, but did get his head to it, but just couldn't do anything with it, and over it went.
Kelly Evans now brings it down, sends it out for Meredith on the right-hand side. Meredith will keep it in play just on the touchline and then sends it forward towards Edwards. Edwards can't win it in the air with Williams, and Edwards just seems to be more... It's one of those ones where he doesn't seem to be going full-blooded into a challenge at the moment, maybe just out of a little bit of fear that the referee's got one eye on him. Chester try a little 1-2 over the top. They try and get Thomas involved. Lane comes across, dummies the clearance, and then clears only as far as Weeks, though. Weeks comes forward, Lane's out of position. Weeks towards the edge of the box, Lane then out of position, chopped him down, and Jack Lane, I imagine, will go in the book, because that is not a good challenge, and it'll be a free kick to Chester, about half a yard outside the 18-yard box, about 10 yards right of centre.
Well, Jack Lane made arguably the tackle of the season for us on Tuesday night, didn't he, against Brackley? Superbly time challenged that one, not so, and kind of scythed down his man just outside the penalty area, and I can see why he's gone in the book for that.
Dangerous position for this free kick for Chester, and Kurt Willoughby, their top scorer, stands over it, and if he goes for goal from here, it'll be a hell of a strike to beat Ted Can. Ted Can's lined up a two-man wall of Devon Kelly Evans and Dan Turner, and Willoughby stands over this now. Will he swing it in, or will he have a go? Willoughby stands over it, steps up, does have a go, straight into the gloves of Ted Can, who was wise to it, stepped across 2 steps to his left and easily took it into his clutches.
He did, yeah. Willoughby's clearly full of confidence, scoring goals galore this season, and quite just fancied it. But Ted Can, good save.
Can Leamington snatch all 3 points? Usher Shipway on the right-hand side. They're all forward. Lane, Edwards, English is making a nuisance of himself around the goalkeeper. In it comes towards Edwards. He can't quite win the flick on it. Falls towards the edge of the 18-yard box where it's helped away. Walker sends it back goalwards in towards English. English tries to nod one towards the 18-yard box where Edwards tries to arrive, and then Edwards is offside, and then there's just a little collision between Edwards and the goalkeeper. He had every right to go for that ball there. Goalkeeper Tyra is punching the ground, and I think it was more of a coming together between him and his own defender Matty Williams, and Tyra's stayed down. So Ted Can takes this free kick. Still we play on. It's up towards Edwards. Edwards can't quite win it. Kelly Evans will try and keep it in play. Kelly Evans doesn't keep it in play. It's out for a goal kick. And that is the end of the action. The referee this afternoon, Harry Jones, blows the full-time whistle.
I think, Shaun, it's been a really good dogged point from Leamington at times. We obviously had a few chances where we could have nicked it as well. Chester flying high in the league. But that's our 12th point in 7 games, so 3 wins, 3 draws and a loss. That's good form, and the good form continues.
And it's finished here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Leamington 0, Chester 0.
So Paul, a point at home against Chester, who are the informed team at the minute. Your thoughts on the game?
Probably about right, I think, possibly. The games. Massive thank you to all the people that came out yesterday afternoon and this morning with the covers and just make the game happen. But obviously we haven't been able to work on the pitch. So listen, it was a difficult surface. It was a difficult afternoon. The game did lack quality. There's no doubt about that. But I just said to the players that 6 weeks ago, I'm not sure would have kept that clean sheet. I think there's a bit more steel in the team at the moment. There's a bit more belief. Your concentration levels have to be exceptional against Chester with the sort of diamond system they play. So many good attacking players on the pitch. So I think for us to keep a clean sheet today is probably the biggest kind of sort of plaudit I can give the players. And to limit them to the one chance first half and the one chance second was a great save from Ted down there, second half. I thought was excellent today. But we've had 4 or 5 big moments as well in the game. And that will be disappointed with that. But I think on the balance, you look how much both teams have. I think Callum will be pleased with that because there's no doubt they know Chester can scored a lot of goals, played some good football, but he'll be pleased that they've come here today and dug that out as well. Just as I'm pleased that we've contained them and still looked a threat. We weren't able to get our wide players in the game second half. We did first half, and that's what we sort of changed it and went sort of more with Jack and went more central to try and just get a few knockdowns and play from that. No, but it's another. Listen, would have loved to have won the game, obviously, but it's another point. Clean sheet's a bonus for us, and obviously, today, obviously with Theo out for one game, then bringing Junior back in with Mace injured as well, and Junior coming back in there, but I don't think he's put a foot wrong all afternoon, Junior. So it's, he's a bit of a non-league treasure. So he did great today for us.
3 points on Tuesday just gone, a point today. It's got some real momentum behind Leamington at the minute. How important is that momentum coming into the closing into the season?
Well, it's been a good week for us, hasn't it? Like you say, 7 points in a week. The only problem is I think all the form teams are in the bottom half of the league at the moment. It's phenomenal, some of the results. Listen, Tuesday's performance was exceptional. It was a notch up from sort of Saturday's performance here last Saturday. But we've had to show other qualities. On Tuesday night, on a good surface, we could play a bit and got our top four in the game a lot more. And we've had to really work hard and dig in today. That was pleasing. But no, listen, like you say, I said at the start of the interview, we're showing a little bit more steel, a bit more carry, a bit of belief now as well, a bit more belief in the group. But there's still a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do in this league. It really is. Really is a tough league at the moment with the extra teams in it as well, which I don't agree with. The amount of games we're having to play, the amount of travelling we're having to do midweek games, the amount of injuries teams are picking up. It's tough. And we've still got 10 to go, I think. And it starts with a tough away assignment on Tuesday night at Farsley. But listen, we're in a much better place now than we were a month ago. We're looking forward to the running.
Just talk to us about your thoughts on the game on Tuesday against Farsley. It's going to be another tight one.
Yeah, well, listen, again, Farsley, you've only got to look at their results recently, haven't you? I mean, they've been, they've got a good manager. He's a top bloke, and they've got good home form. But listen, we're going to it in good spirits as well. So we're on the back of a good month's work, I'd say. So looking forward to it. I'm sure it will be a very similar game to today. So it's roll up the sleeves and get to work, basically.